Imagine you're coming to the end of a trip. You shoot for a whole day in one of the most authentic cities you've ever visited. You feel like you're getting some of the best shots you've got for a while. You're already patting yourself on the back about what a class act you are. You get your film back weeks later, you excitedly look through all the shots until you find the ones from that special day. And yeah. But before I tell you what the fuck happened there, let me tell you about a truly unique part of Italy. It's really quiet and bloody beautiful as well. Now, I'm not talking about Lake Como or the Dolomites. I'm talking about Puglia, the heel of Italy. This place has become more and more popular in recent years, but for the most part, a lot of people visit places like Milan or Rome or Sorrento or Venice. They don't usually go to Puglia. By the time we hit the area, we'd been driving around Europe for months, drinking moonshine in Portugal, hanging off the sides of mountains in France, and trying to survive the insane drivers of Italy. And we were still just about in one piece. Along the way, I've been shooting for my upcoming European photo book, which I'm sort of struggling to pin down genre-wise. I guess it's kind of street photography, but mainly I just like to try and capture the essence and feeling of a place. Lazy as f***, I know. But either way, it was starting to come together. Throughout the trip, I had just one camera, the Nikon F100, which kind of looks like one of Nikon's shitty old DSLRs, but it's actually a pretty good standard 35mm camera. The only problem being, it's in my hands. Generally, I try my best to take creative shots, usually using quite a lot of motion and just trying to think more when I'm shooting rather than shooting sort of automatically. And sometimes if I'm lucky, I get some pictures that don't really suck. So we really pushed my Seat Ibiza to the limits. We took it straight across the country, 5 hours from Sorrento all the way to Ostuni on the east coast. There we were staying in a really basic campsite, but it had the added bonus of being right next to the sea. Katie nearly just stepped on this bad boy. Not sure what he is. First snake we've seen, that, isn't it? We tried to head out early because it was roasting, and I'm about as resistant to the heat as Conor McGregor is to the sesh. First on the cards was the city of Ostuni, which sits on the hill overlooking the sea. It's Gothic, it's Romanesque, it's Byzantine, and good lord, I do not know what any of those things mean. Colour-wise, I think this is pretty striking, but I really wish I'd spent more time thinking about how else to try and shoot here. Instead, I kind of lazily just took that shot, which is alright, I guess, but there's better photos to be had here. Where I'm from, alleyways are where people let their dogs shit. Here there's a whole system of them flowing around the city without a turd to be seen. Loving it. Amongst other things, this place is the home to the skeleton of a woman from Neolithic times, which we didn't have time to see, but I bet she's still looking younger than this bloke. This place is mint, isn't it? Well, good. 30 degrees though, too much. But this is why everything's white, isn't it? Makes it cooler. Still doesn't stop my back sweat though. Nothing more.
Give us a twirl.
Imagine getting papped by such a sweaty little man. These are shit. These are shit photos. It's okay though, it's all part of the process of trying to find good ones, but Christ, I missed the mark on this one. This, on the other hand, is halfway to the kind of photo I want to be taking. It's actually almost a kind of warm-up shot for a one that I took later in the day. I thought it said Kodak.
Yeah, I was going to say, it still says Kodak.
Okay, I love this. I mean, little fish guy, fish shop man, and he's stood there, he's, got his hands in between the little chains. Don't get me wrong, there's probably a million better ways to shoot this, being closer, whatever. But the one that I got, I think is good, but also maybe nothing compared to this one. This is how I wanted to shoot. I love being able to show the buzz and the atmosphere. It could probably be better compositionally and all that, but hey, when you've only got a few hours in a spot, you can't always worry about those little deets. So after a great first half of the day spent in Ostuni, we were actually heading over to a new spot, which I'm only including as a cautionary tale. Some places like Ostuni are pretty authentic, and for me, that makes them great to shoot. Whereas some places like this one, Albabello, are kinda like one big gift shop. And while it was cool to see these coney houses, personally I found it pretty hard to take any pictures that felt interesting to me. Now some of that might be the time of the day, but also sometimes places like that, they just don't really have any realness to them. I guess what I'm saying is that sometimes the most obvious place to shoot is the worst, but horses for courses or whatever. Is that the right phrase? Who knows? Before we move on, I just want to talk about my photo book, which is going to be available around the start of December, end of November. If you want to be the first to find out about it, then sign up to my newsletter. I'm going to leave a link in the description. You'll be able to find out about whatever other cool stuff I'm up to. I'm not going to bombard you with shit. This photo book is going to include loads of work from this European tour that I've been doing, so I'm really excited to get it going. And obviously, if you've been keeping track of my videos so far, then you might find it really interesting. Anyway, thanks, and yeah, check it out. With the first day behind us, we headed up to the Pearl of the Adriatic coast. No, I'm not talking about my luscious self. I'm talking about Poano Amar. I think that's how you say it. And the Ibiza took even more abuse. 3 months and I've not touched anything at all. Now, 5 days left. Caught on here. Not too bad. Still intact. Yeah, we were just kayaking down there, weren't we? And I got stuck right over there. I love the way this shot feels. I've got the dude looking down about to jump into the sea. Despite how many people are actually in and around the water, I feel like he's a pretty clear subject, which, I'm not gonna lie, probably wasn't fully intentional, but the way it came out, I'm super happy with. Looking back now, there's so much potential in this location, but we only really had like an hour or so, and I was in need of a little gelato to cool my fat head down. Poano Amar had been beautiful, but we had one last place to visit the next day. The incredibly authentic Bari. Well, you might remember that picture from the start of the video, you know, the one that's all fucked up. The night before heading to Bari, we headed down to the beach by our campsite to take some real nice evening shots, you know, golden hour and all that shit. I thought I'd experiment with some lovely double exposures like this one of Katie. And we were heading out to Bari the next day. I mean, look at it, this place is an actual proper city with way less tourists and all that bullshit. It's, you know, more authentic than anywhere else I've seen in Italy. We bought some amazing handmade pasta from this lovely lady, and she was happy to have a portrait. Honestly, this place was a photographer's dream, but it was about to be my nightmare. A little later in the day, I realized something. My shot count hadn't seemed to change. And of course it hadn't, because I'm dumb as f***. I'd left my camera on multi-exposure the whole day, sending all of the shots from Bari into oblivion.
There goes that dream.
Maybe that's what I get for stepping out of my comfort zone. Maybe I should never take double exposures again. Or maybe it's a sign that I need to go back to Puglia. Because anytime that anyone asks me what my favourite part of our trip was, I always end up talking about Puglia, the heel of the country that feels a million miles away from the north. Maybe I like it because it reminds me of the north of England, where people are mainly working class, people are generally more authentic, and a lot of the landscape is a lot better. So that's Puglia. We only had a few days, but really it was amazing. And I just want to take this time to say a big thank you for everyone that's taken their time to watch my videos. The fact that anyone wants to watch me and Katie traveling around Europe or America or wherever is just really cool. If any of you haven't subscribed yet, then you should consider doing that because it's a really cool thing to do. It's totally free and it supports me and helps me to make better and better videos. So take care, look out for my European photo book, and just have a great week. Thanks, guys. Do a backflip, crawl on all fours in public, do whatever you want. Take care.